Hello, dear ones. My name is Kiran Patti, founder of Brownswell, earth-based healer and leadership coach to empathic leaders and mission-driven organizations. It's been a long while since I've reached out to you all, and I just wanted to get on here because I wanted to share a strategy, a ritual that has been really helpful for me in the last several weeks, and thought might be helpful for those of you who are also empathic, deeply empathic, and guiding transformational work at this really intense time. I know for me, it's been really difficult or challenging in new ways to stay in my body. As a guide and as a healer, oftentimes I'm feeling a lot of what our collective isn't able to feel yet. And there's just a lot. There's so much. And so there are just moments where I have also wanted to be like, I don't want to feel this, and yeah, and my spirit's just like, let's go somewhere else. And so, what does that mean on a real tangible level? It's been harder to sort of feel my feet on the ground, to feel ease in my body, to feel that sort of opening and settling in my nervous system and my muscles that I've worked so hard over many years to normalize and cultivate. So that's been challenged. And so anyways, this is something that just sort of came to me while I was walking. I'm sure there are lots of folks and traditions that utilize similar tools, ritual, and I just want to send deep recognition and honoring to those that do, and to the well ancestors and guides that were certainly talking to me across lineages as this was whispered into my body. I'm deeply grateful. And so I'm sharing it with you, and if you try it, take a moment also to just take that pause for recognition and honoring of the wisdom that came before us and has bestowed this to us. So here's what came to me. I was walking, and typically walking is something that's really helpful and useful for me in those sort of flustery times where my energy is sort of going up and out or constricting, and the walks just weren't doing it. And so I was called to reach out my hand, and it was this late spring, and so there's just so much foliage out, and I ended up just sort of slowly walking and brushing my hands through all the foliage. Really bringing attention to my hand and the sensation that was being transmitted, how it felt to feel life, and sometimes death, sometimes dying leaves in my hands, and it slowed my breath as well as my walking. And then I felt compelled to narrate. So I'm touching big, broad green leaves. I'm not sure what they are. They feel really gentle and soft in my hands. This grass feels feathery at the top. These stems are a bit more rough than the other leaves I've been touching. I hear a river. It's soothing to my nervous system. It's so beautiful, the way the light is filtering through the trees. I'm enjoying both the shade and the light. I like these dead leaves. It's reminding me of how much is releasing inside of my own body and our collective body at this time. And how to create more space, that I need to create some more space into my days, so my body doesn't feel so overwhelmed. And here I'm seeing for the first time this season my most favorite flower, one of my greatest guides, goldenrod. And I'm feeling the presence of wisdom that is really soothing to my heart. It's reminding me that everything will be okay. Didn't plan that. Okay, that's it. If you notice that there were moments where I paused and I was just breathing, the focus and intention really was to feel and not force anything. I only spoke or narrated when something wanted to be said, but otherwise I was just sticking to sensation. None of what I just shared right now was rehearsed. It was just what came up. And so what I noticed is that when I started with just narrating what I was sensing, what I was literally feeling with my hand, that it would lead to other insight that would come organically. But again, it wasn't prefabricated or pushed at all. It just would emerge. So yeah, try it on. I'd love to hear how it goes for you. This exercise, it doesn't feel like an exercise. It feels like a gift in this time. It just reminds me of the power of our body, especially in these times. That it's so critical to our justice work to be in our bodies and remember how to be in our bodies and let that guide. When the act of the sensation and touching the plants and connecting with them and narrating that was just, it was amazing to me what would come up out of that experience, and just also reminded me of how simple it can be to access wisdom, especially in difficult times. So there's more to say, but I'll just let you sit and experience it yourself. I hope that this is helpful. I know that we are all needing so much support right now, and so I hope you are receiving what you need, and just sending lots of love.